going on, Jerome? So yes, Minnesota Vikings are currently in the playoff places and going to make that big push. JJ's coming back, and hopefully the quarterback does not turn the ball over so many freaking times. But mock draft season is right around the corner, and it is always fun to look ahead at some of the prospects. And the Vikings, will they go QB? Will they go in a different direction? Who really knows? But over at the 33rd team, Connor Livesay did up a first-round mock draft after Week 13 action, except for Monday night. But whatever. So diving on in. It gets a little bit juicy because, again, this could be one of the deeper quarterback classes since 1983. And I think there could be 5-6 quarterbacks go in the first round. So up at the top, the Bears via the Panthers, whatever. Taking Caleb Williams. I don't know. I was never completely sold on Caleb Williams. I think that he has the potential to be a generational talent. I think a lot of people were putting cart before the horse. There's some things. We've seen some cracks in the armor. So Caleb Williams is going to get ruined by the Bears. It happens. Also, Justin Fields going to the Falcons. Make that happen. Because even though the Falcons obviously in our conference, I think that that offense would actually be really good if Arthur Smith is fired. Patriots up at 2. Drake May, quarterback from North Carolina, come on and raise up. I actually like this fit. So Gerard Mayo is probably going to be taking over because I think Belichick is done with the Patriots. But a new day, a new dawn. And also, Drake May, is he like Justin? Is he the good parts of Justin Herbert and some of the good parts of Josh Allen? Yeah, sure. 3 Cardinals, Marvin Harrison Jr. So if they don't get one of the top 2 QBs, do they force a quarterback here or do they roll a Kyler? Something Monty Osafort's going to have to decide on. But in the interim, just take Random Mouse at 2.0, Marvin Harrison Jr. Go ahead. Commies taking Olafashu, just trying to suture up that offensive line and protects Slinging Sam Howell's ass. And go from there. The Bears also dipping into the tackle market, taking Joe Alt, putting him on the opposite side of right and trying to protect Caleb Williams because, as seen by USC this year, Caleb Williams needs perfect protection. The Jets, sort of a bad beat for the Jets. So, they could take Jaden Daniels here. Hell, they could even take J.J. McCarthy in this spot, but taking Malik Neighbors, the second wide receiver off the board. And I feel like the gap between Harrison and Neighbors ain't even that large of a gap. But the Jets get a beautiful running mate for Garrett Wilson, and they go from there. 7, the Giants. Ooh. So this will be very controversial. So they literally just paid Danny Dimes $40 million per year, but they could try and get out from underneath that contract. But Jaden Daniels, the dual threat superstar from LSU, for my money, he should be the Heisman Trophy winner, and he's a lot of fun. And I think that with the New York media market, I do think that Jaden Daniels would be a star, and I don't know. I think it would be good. And also, I think that just moving on from Daniel Jones makes all the sense in the world. Number 8, the Tennessee Titans, taking Nate Wiggins, first cornerback off the board. I actually like Nate a lot. I think that he has a chance to be a true blue cornerback 1 with the Tennessee Titans. 9, you got the Saints, taking Penix Jr. Woo! All the quarterbacks just flying off the board. And Penix, there could be some changes with the Saints. I do think that Dennis Allen's going to get fired. But a new day, a new dawn in New Orleans. And also, they're in cap hell. So they're going to have to rely on rookies for a couple of seasons. And Penix, lots of questions with his knees, yes. But I think that he made enough big-time clutch throws this season, and especially in the Pac-12 title game, that he's super interesting. He absolutely is. 10, you got the Buccaneers taking Brock Bowers. So, yes, they easily could take quarterback here. Maybe they should. But Brock Bowers, a.k.a. Gronklin 2.0, a.k.a. Travis Kelce, a.k.a. Hawkinson clone. Brock Bowers, he is going to be a matchup nightmare, and he's fantastic, man. Yeah, he's going to be a superstar tight end from day one. The Raiders... So the Raiders could go quarterback here, but Kool-Aid McKinstry, quarterback 2 off the board. He's an absolute lockdown corner with Bama, and the Raiders have been looking for cornerback help for a long time. Now, 12 is a little bit interesting. So Drazon Newton coming out of Illinois, where I love him a lot. I think that he would be perfect for the Vikings. The quick first step penetration. He's a little bit undersized, but he's a guy that completely wrecks fools on the interior, and he would be awesome. He would be awesome if Flores sticks around for another season, but also if Flores gets the Chargers job, which is in the cards, getting some defensive line pieces out there will be kind of fun. 13, you got the Bengals. So the Bengals need to protect jumping Joe Burrow's ass, and they've tried many times. And Jonah Williams not so much, and also Orlando Brown Jr. Doesn't seem like he's being worth that money, but J.C. Latham taking another bite of the apple, coming in from Alabama. Go ahead. Buffalo Bills, Rome Odunze coming in from Washington. So clutch catches all over the place. Him and Michael Penix were making beautiful, sweet football music up in Washington. And the Bills, this may be a pick because maybe Stephon Diggs forces a trade this offseason. Who knows? Who knows? But, I mean, Gabe Davis ain't it. And Odunze would be solid here, man. Dallas Turner, edge rusher, going to the Broncos, just adding some more heft to that front seven for the Broncos. And kind of sucks because I like Dallas Turner. Now he has to turn dirty because he's playing for stupid-ass Sean Payton. Seahawks, Jared Verse. Now, a little bit surprised. I thought that Verse may be edge rusher 1 off the board. He's an absolute monster. He is a big reason why that Florida State defense is so damn solid. But, I mean, Verse falls to the Seahawks. That kind of sucks. It's a great fit there. Chop Robinson, another great edge rusher from Penn State, going to the Rams as they look to rebuild that front seven. The Cardinals with their second pick. This is from Houston. And now initially, I mean, Houston looked bad, and then the Cardinals looked like they were going to get 2 out of the top 5 picks, but not so much. But Latu coming in from UCLA, formerly of Washington. A lot of medical questions. He actually medically retired when he was with the Huskies, but he is super disruptive off the edge, and I think that, I mean, he could be in the mix as, a top 10 pick somewhere in there, but getting him at 18, if all the medicals check out, I think is good. The Falcons take another quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, Dynamite. So it makes him quarterback 5 off the board. And McCarthy, we said this before, like McCarthy, I feel like he's going to be a better pro than he was a college player. And I think that he is held back by Harbaugh's offense in Michigan, where they want to run the ball with Blake Corum, and McCarthy makes a couple throws here and there. But I think McCarthy, given his size, given his mobility, given his accuracy and arm strength, I think that he could be a guy that projects better at the NFL, because I think that he does have a lot of good traits, and I think that he could develop into a little something in the league. The Packers going tackle here. I mean, they need to, since Bakhtiari is never going to play again. Although, please keep paying him. Go ahead. The Vikings, Bo knows. The Vikings go with Bo Nix from Oregon, and I know that Bo Nix gets a lot of flack for being in Oregon's offense, and a lot of his yardage is off of screens and swing passes and short and throws near the line of scrimmage. How did Justin Fields operate against the Vikings? And also, just because Bo is in this Oregon offense doesn't mean that he can't make the other throws. Now he's got to prove it during various Senior Bowls, pro days, as well as the combine, but I think there's something there with Bo. All right, so this is what they wrote. The Vikings could be in the market for a veteran quarterback, or could possibly bring back Kirk Cousins. I actually think that Kirk returning is likely, but also if Kirk returns, it doesn't preclude them from drafting a quarterback high. Even if they go that route, drafting the quarterback in the future is likely in their plans. So I just said, Bo Nix will have his doubters due to his lack of high-end traits at the league's most important position, but he also provides some value that does not show up on the physical traits evaluations. Nix would work well in Kevin O'Connell's system. And Bo Nix, Bo Nix originally at Auburn, where his pops played on Auburn, and his legal name is Bo, B-O, 2 letters. So he's obviously named after Bo Jackson. And I don't know, he didn't live up to the hype at Auburn, but he's done really well in 2 years in Eugene. And, frankly, probably was in the Heisman conversation, might even still get an invite, probably placed 3rd or 4th somewhere in there. But, I mean, the kid's plucky. He's a gamer. He's got a quick release, solid arm ability, but not overwhelming. And he does make plays off script. But like we said, in that college offense, it's tough to parse out how much production is him and how much isn't it. But I will say that, that big time throw that got Oregon their last touchdown that made the game close against Washington, I mean, that was a dime. That was an onions throw. Great run after catch as well. But, I mean, he's a guy that I think could fall to the back end of the first round. I think that him being quarterback 5'6" is probably in the mix there as well. But he's a guy where, I hate to make this comparison, but he's like the best parts of Baker Mayfield. And Could you roll with that? Could you win with that? It's possible, man. So we'll see. Either way, I mean, the Vikings. Would I prefer they make a move? Maybe trade with the Cardinals and try and get J.J. McCarthy up at 18. Sure, certainly. But sticking and picking 21, getting Bo Nix. I mean, could do a lot worse. Colts taking Keon Coleman, stud. I mean, I feel like every wide receiver class is good. Steelers going with Cooper DeJean. Oh, yeah. Cooper DeJean with JPJ long term. It's pretty damn good. Texans, again, Brian Thomas Jr. coming out of LSU. I mean, it's tough to parse out. Like, did the LSU receivers make Jaden Daniels or the other way around? Or is it both? I think it might be both. Emeka Guba coming in from Ohio State. Yeah, the other one. The other one, not Marvin Harrison Jr., but still super productive in his own right. And Ohio State's wide receiver room has been on one. I mean, props to Brian Hartline, also props to the recruiting last couple of years. Tyler Nubin, safety from Minnesota, row the boat, going down to Jacksonville. Terrion Arnold coming in from Alabama. Although, I don't know, man. I feel like with Bland and Diggs, I feel like you're kind of good to go. Lions picking up Braylon Tricebor. Adding more edge. I mean, you need more help in the secondary lines, but that's beside the point, I guess. Talese Fuaga, the offense tackle from Oregon State, protected DJ Ukulele, coming in from for the Niners. I mean, do the Niners really have like a ton of needs? I mean, sure, they didn't necessarily replace McGlinchey, but it's a damn good football team. Kalen King going to the Ravens. That's just unfair. Like, the Ravens always pick at the back end of the first round. They always add defensive studs where everyone's fretting up at the top and then in the middle of the draft. And then Ravens are like, whatever. Well, whatever. We'll just take great players no matter what. Dolphins at 31. Taking Graham Barton from Duke. Sure. And then the Eagles taking Quavion Mitchell, cornerback from Toledo, where the Eagles secondary definitely needs a bit of an overhaul. Brock Purdy just exposed them. It was rough, man. But also, 33 teams predicting Dolphins-Eagles Super Bowl. I don't know, man. But either way, Bo knows. The Vikings go with Bo Nix in the 33rd team's first-round mock draft. Let us know your thoughts on our thoughts and their thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.